That's not for you.
But can you tell me what exactly is going on?
I
know, I am not in your meeting, sir. Thank you, I'm leaving.
Just controlling the situation. That's all right. That's okay.
Leave it.
Come
on, my girl. Okay. You know when you're in the right and when you're in the wrong, and you're in the wrong over here.
It's okay, thank you.
That was an encounter between UTV's Treasure Lionel and UWP branch members of Choiseul. The recent war of words involving media personnel and supporters of the current administration has rallied some quarters to demand that the current administration take control of officials within their camp. News Force touched base with Minister for Broadcasting, Dominic Fede, who addresses the recent contentious encounter between the journalist and UWP supporters.
Should you go to meetings to provide coverage that you're not invited to cover? I think that organizations, groups and sporting teams, political parties, they all have the right to determine whether they're going to have closed meetings or not. In the specific video that you referred to, I remember hearing a participant of that specific meeting indicating that, listen, you have not been invited to cover the meeting, please leave us alone. And I think that journalists will have to respect that.
Fede insists that the conduct of journalists should not disregard the rights of individuals. Lionel attempted to gain comment from the participants at the UWP meeting, but instead she was roundly rejected, disparaged, and removed from the Choiseul Secondary School. Supporters hurled insults at the TV host, mocked, and ridiculed her.
What's that?
Stop that.
Stop what?
You know what I tell you? If you want a private meeting, just leave the place.
But why did you try to take my phone then? You cannot do that. You cannot do that.
Let's go.
It's okay.
You are not invited.
Despite it being in a public setting, despite her not going in the meeting, the private meeting, her being outside in the Choiseul school, you would still find that there was an issue with that, her being outside of the compounds in the school, which is a public setting.
So if you came up to me now and you ask whether I would agree to an interview, I have the right to agree or not to agree. If you keep insisting, then I believe that you're infringing in my personal space.
But no, she had to be taken out by persons there. Is that common practice for her to be escorted despite it being a public place?
Well, I'm not sure of the location, whether it was a public or a private, but if you ask me whether in a public or a private place, whether I agree to do an interview and I say to you no, if you keep coming, I believe you would have infringed on my personal space. But I've agreed to this interview, so we have a very cordial chat. But I would like to think that you agree with me that there's just a line that you draw and you don't have to be aggressive all the time.
This is the second incident involving the TV host. In July, a UWP supporter at a Viewfort North runoff threatened to spit on the journalist who was seeking comment on the proceedings. He later apologized, stating that he had not taken his medication. Fede, a former media practitioner, says he knows all too well the importance of the media, but is calling on media personnel to act professionally.
Being a media representative and practitioner myself, and my personal view is that the media will always be a pillar upon which democracy stands. I want to get that out straight. And our government does not support or condone any effort or any attack by media personnel. Having said that, we also do appreciate the fact that the media is also obligated by a set of rules in legislation, in media ethics, in professional codes that they must abide by. I have seen in recent times where
the Minister for Broadcasting singled out media personalities Christopher Hunt and Treasure Lionel to accentuate his point. Hunt was taken into police custody for allegedly orchestrating an anti-Shasney protest round the Island Drive.
If you recall this video which went viral when a certain operative of the opposition was being arrested, there was a media lady who actually got into some confrontation with a police officer who then had to plead with her not to touch him. And this was while the officer was in the line of trying to arrest someone. So I think that we have rights, but our rights come with responsibility as well.
The Minister for Broadcasting is calling for what he calls fair and balanced reporting that informs the general public and allows the masses to formulate their opinions on the issues facing the island. Solange Alfred, HTS News Force.